What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for me, please. Y'all seen the title. Let's get in this video.
This reaction from J.D. Vance he writes on X, Joe Biden has been the worst president of my lifetime, and Kamala Harris has been right there with him every step of the way. Over the last 4 years, she co-signed Biden's open border and green scam policies that drove up the cost of housing and groceries. She owns all of these failures, and she lied for nearly 4 years about Biden's mental capacity, saddling a nation with a president who can't do the job. President Trump and I are ready to save America. Who's ever at the top of the Democratic ticket? Sandra, bring it on. He closes out.
Gosh, makes you wonder what a possible VP debate would look like with Vance and Kamala Harris. Fox News chief political analyst Britt Hume is joining us now. Britt, thank you very much for jumping in.
It would literally be. They don't need to do that. When she talks, like I was literally showing a clip to Chris. If y'all don't know who Chris is, Chris, short for Crystal. That is my girl, and I was showing her that, and she was like, she's literally saying the same thing over and over, and she's trying to make herself. Exactly. Everything she says, like, it's literally confusing. It confuses me. And I only heard her speak like 3 or 4 times.
And joining the coverage, your thoughts?
Glad to do it. Well, I think we're this was forecast, I think, and when the history of this is written, people will look back to the debate and say that from that moment on, this was inevitable, that he had to get out. He stubbornly hung on for a while, but the pressure was enormous. The odds were against him. He is, after all, old and feeble. Surely even the people closest to him recognize that, and so here we are.
So the vice presidential debate is set for September the 25th, but we don't know who's
I'm gonna let this roll and play until we see what J.D. Vance got
going to be in it on the Democratic side at this point. What do you think about the idea that the torch gets passed to Kamala, or Democrats rising up and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa? Because Obama said this in a statement, along with his wife, Michelle Obama, said that we trust that the Democratic Party will execute a robust process that will lead to a very strong nominee.
Like, that's sad. Like, look how he's going up the steps. Y'all knew what this was even a year ago. Before that, like, people knew this. Look at the way he's going up the stairs and all that. Like, that's abuse. I'm telling y'all.
That will lead to a very strong nominee. They didn't say we back Kamala Harris. So do you think, Brett, that in the days ahead, we're going to see a lot of Democrats saying, wait a second, you might want to just pass the torch to Kamala Harris, but there's a lot of other people out there who might do better?
Well, it's possible that will happen, and a lot of Democrats may think that, but look at it this way.
This man is lost, bro. This man is lost. You know he's lost when he's just sitting like this smiling. Everybody else, they in tune. We don't. Everybody. This man is just sitting there like it's not, and she's sitting there laughing in his face.
Going now to emerge and come out and say,
it's crazy,
no,
man.
I don't want Kamala Harris to be the nominee. I'm running against her. I'm running against a woman who is the sitting vice president of the United States, who does, after all, have behind her the force of the votes that were for the Biden-Harris ticket. But
well, if Ted Kennedy were still around, he might do it.
Well, he might, but he's not, and RFK is around, and he's not a factor in this. So RFK Jr. I think it's a good question. Who will step forward to challenge her? And of course, if someone does, then it's Katie Bar the door, because on paper, at least, John, I think we all can agree that the nomination now is in the hands of a cadre of thousands of delegates chosen to support Joe Biden. That's why they're in it. They're Biden delegates. He's endorsed her. Are they going to go against the candidate that he endorsed? Maybe, but it seems to me that she really does have a leg up here, and I think an awful lot of potential candidates will shy away because of that.
Brett, you have to wonder what the phone calls and the meetings and the gatherings are. You got to wonder. I mean, there's been big questions leading up to this decision and this announcement from the president. Who is in charge and who is in his inner circle, and those that are outside of it. What are they going to do? You've got the president endorsing Kamala Harris very publicly in this statement. And as we were just noting, some of these governors who are now responding, who hadn't initially called for him to drop out of the race, they're stepping in to talk about Biden's legacy without without even, endorsing Kamala Harris. So, I mean, the next few days, next hours, I should say, you can only imagine the conversations that are being had.
Yeah, I think there are probably a lot of conversations among people who might like to run as to whether it would be good for them to do so in this cycle. I mean, it appears that Donald Trump and the Republicans have a big head of steam. I have my doubts about that myself, but I'm sure that's the way it looks to these Democrats. And they've got a candidate, who's endorsed by the sitting president, who was elected to be vice president. That means to be one heartbeat away from the presidency. I just think it's a tough call, close call as to whether you want to challenge her in a party that is so devoted to the rights of minorities and to the promotion of minorities. I mean, when Joe Biden starts talking about his achievements, he lists the minority candidates that he has nominated, and he always lists her promotion to vice president, her being on the ticket with him as one of his real achievements. So I think it creates a certain weight in her favor that anybody who wants to challenge for this job has got to keep in mind before they decide that.
So we mentioned it a minute ago, but we've made a graphic out of it now, so everyone at home can read along.
Like I said
Vance.
in the last video, and we're gonna hear what JD Vance got to say. Like I said in the last video, I had texted my dad today, and I was asking him, who do you think, is gonna be, he's a Democrat, and I asked him who do you think? Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama? He was like, or Hillary Clinton, and we in a group text. We got a gaming group text because we all play the game every other night, something like that. But anyways, basically, he was like, well, Joe Biden, he had lost that minority vote, and the black vote. I want to go to, the text. I said this same thing in the last video I just dropped. He said Joe had lost the young and the minority support, and she can get that back. And how I look at it is that it's so many people that didn't stayed in the tune and seeing how it is. Why would you want to go vote for somebody that stuck it out, as Joe Biden being? He didn't did this, said this on here, use being the R word, and you sitting there with it like everything is and I just don't get that. If enough people pay attention, the younger generation, the minority that he's saying that she can get back. If they pay attention and they see, and that's why I strive to put these videos out, they need to see what's going on. They need to see what's like. It shouldn't matter. First of all, color shouldn't matter. Oh yeah, she's a woman. She's black, and I don't get how is she even black? Like and this I'm being so for real. Like I don't see much of Kamala Harris. And I feel like that's a big problem, too. I don't see much of her. I already didn't see much of what Joe Biden was doing, but I'm definitely not going to see anything that, Kamala is doing. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm assuming she is. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, regardless to whatever, her being this, I just don't get how people can sit there and be like, oh, yeah, just because of color, it's because she don't know nothing. You want somebody running the country that don't know nothing? Just listen how she talks. I've seen her 3 or 4 times speaking, and it's not there. It's not there. People just care about oh, she's a woman, and she's going to do this for us, and she's black, too. So, man, none of that matters. None of that matters. We need somebody that's going to run this country the way it should. We need stuff that, we need people and things that need to be done, that needs to be fixed because of who messed it up, So it's a lot of factors.
This is JD Vance.
A lot of people not getting
on Kamala Harris and her potential to become the nominee, and a real indication of what the Trump campaign will bring up.
See what JD Vance
should she become the nominee. Vance writes, quote, Joe Biden has been the worst president in my lifetime, and Kamala Harris has been right there with him every step of the way. Over the last 4 years, she co-signed Biden's open border and green scam policies that drove up the cost of housing and groceries. She owns owns all of these failures, and she lied for nearly 4 years about Biden's mental capacity, saddling the nation with a president who cannot do the job. President Trump and I are ready to save America. Whoever is at the top of the Democrat ticket, bring it on. Well,
everything I literally just said, is what they saying right now. She followed him every step of the way. I don't know if you know they saying he got control. He's doing this. He don't. Regardless, you being the vice president, you followed you allowed these things. You lied for 4 years. Everything is a lot of factors. I'm telling y'all. And for people to be like, oh yeah, she's a woman and she's black and she's going to do this and she's going to, y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that. Like she literally just says, nothing. When I watch it, it's nothing. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. I had to see what JD Vance definitely had to say. And he literally, one thing about it, I like where he stands. I like where he stands. Everything that, he said just in that little short period of time right here. I'm telling y'all, I love it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.